Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. First, a jury in Idaho has convicted a man from Fayetteville for trying to start a riot during a pride celebration there. Devin Center was one of 5 people convicted in the conspiracy on Friday. All of them pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor charges. They'll each serve 3 days in jail and 1 year of unsupervised probation. The case made national headlines after police found 31 people hiding inside of a U-Haul truck. Investigators say they recovered evidence that the group planned to riot in downtown Coeur d'Alene when a pride parade was happening. As a part of Friday's sentencing, Center will also be banned from the city from being within 2 miles of the city. Meanwhile, people against the Arkansas Learns Act are still collecting signatures for their petition that would put the law before a statewide vote. Lawmakers heard days of testimonies earlier this year, questioning parts like state-funded vouchers for private schools and new guidance on topics like critical race theory, which the governor says will help students close the education gap. We spoke with one volunteer who tells us more about the response.
We're doing great with signatures, but also Washington County, we want to carry the rest of the state. So we're going to go more than what we actually need. So the push is on and it's looking very good. We're infused. People are just turning right in and driving right up.
Well, they say they need 54,000 signatures from 50 different Arkansas counties to get the question on a ballot. And in Siloam Springs, the fire department hosted a dedication and blessing of their new baby box on Sunday. Residents gathered at Station 1 for the opening ceremony and ribbon cutting of this baby box. Now, a baby box is a device that allows a mother in crisis to surrender her baby safely and anonymously instead of leaving the child behind. When a child is placed in the baby box, the fire department is alerted by a silent alarm. The Arkansas Safe Haven law allows a parent to bring a baby 30 days old or younger to a hospital emergency room, law enforcement agency, or fire department that is staffed 24/7.
Anytime that there's a safe alternative to surrender a child, as opposed to, as you see in news stories, children being abandoned in dumpsters or in trash cans, our mission as the fire department is to save lives, and this is a great alternative for that.
Well, this project has been in the works for over a year with the combined efforts of the Siloam Springs Fire Department, a production company, an Arkansas representative, and a local church. Chief Kreiner says this will be the 18th baby box in Arkansas and the 156th in the country. Well, before we get to more of today's top news, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Stephen Abshire. And Stephen, is shaping up to be another hot week.
Yeah, Joe, it will be as we go later on throughout today. We're really going to see those temperatures begin to warm up from where we were this weekend. Going to be back into the mid to upper 90s across 5 country. For Northwest Arkansas, going to see sunshine throughout today. We are going to see some clouds beginning to work in at times, but still plenty of sunshine as we go into the afternoon. Winds won't be much of a factor for today as we see those highs getting into the 90s and into the mid 90s throughout this afternoon. For the River Valley, going to be into the 90s as we get into the start of the afternoon. Going to be topping out into the upper 90s as we head more towards 4 or 5 o'clock, and even as we head into the evening, going to be into the 90s. Lots of sunshine for today. A couple of clouds here or there, but still we're going to see plenty of sun for your afternoon. On Futurecast, we can see a few clouds moving into the area throughout this morning into the start of the afternoon. Those showers will mainly be towards our east, so a couple of clouds here or there as we see those temperatures into the 90s. As we head more into the overnight, we'll see temperatures starting to get into the 80s before the 70s for tomorrow morning. And then Tuesday, much of the same. We're going to see showers mainly to our east. Could see a few showers here or there, but a lot of us just seeing some clouds and sunshine as those temperatures begin to rise into the mid to upper 90s. Over the 7-day forecast, those 90s aren't going anywhere either. We're going to be into the mid 90s for Northwest Arkansas for much of the work week as we head more into next weekend into the upper 90s as we deal some more sunshine. For the River Valley, going to see a couple of clouds Wednesday and Thursday, mainly into the upper 90s throughout the next 7 days before we eventually see some more rain chances heading into Saturday and Sunday.
All right, thanks so much, Stephen. Well, now that we're getting closer to a new school year, school supplies start to become a major concern for some parents. That's where the United Way of Fort Smith area comes into play with its annual Fill the Bus campaign. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb has a preview.
For 19 years, the United Way has parked school buses at each Walmart location in the River Valley. This Friday and Saturday, all they ask is that when you're in the store doing some shopping, you pick up an extra back-to-school item.
All you have to do is grab the supply list as you walk in. We have laid it out for you with what is needed. All you have to do is buy it and then give it straight back to us, and you've done your part.
Reagan Newell with the United Way says once everything is collected, the supplies will be evenly distributed to each school district in the River Valley. She says having these supplies ready to go on the first day is so very important.
You remember the first day of school jitters. We don't want kids to be nervous. We want them to have everything that they need. We don't want that to be a worry on their minds. But then it also takes a huge burden off of our teachers. You know, oftentimes teachers are stocking their own classrooms or having those extra supplies in case a kid runs out, and that's coming out of their own pocket. And so we hope that this event will just fulfill that need in our area.
Buses will be parked at the stores this Friday and Saturday, and even if you can't make it then, it doesn't mean you can't donate.
So if you do your shopping on Sunday, a box will still be there for you to drop those in. So we'll collect those that first Monday, and then we'll be distributing the week after that. So August 7th through 11th, so everyone is ready for school.
Newell says the program has meant so much to so many over the years.
I wish that those who donate could see the faces of these school administrators that come and pick up the supplies, and they're telling us how much this means to them, and oh, these teachers are going to be so excited. And so whenever you come from that perspective of, you can see it on their faces how much it truly means, I think no one would question about whether or not they donate.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, I'm Darren Bobb, 5 News.
Well, for those of you in Northwest Arkansas, the United Way of NWA's Fill the Bus event is set for August 4th. Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Jo Ellison. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. Have a great day.